Hello, and welcome back to Breakthrough. I'm glad you're here as we keep moving through breaking the cycle of almost. If you've been following along, you know what this is. If you're new, do yourself a favor and don't start in the middle. Pause this and go back to episode 1. The story is meant to build, and it hits different when you walk it in order. All right. Take a breath. Let's step into today's episode. The hardest part of almost loved isn't the moment it happens. The hardest part is what it teaches your heart afterward. Instability doesn't just hurt. It tries to disciple you. Childhood doesn't only leave scars. It leaves beliefs. It installs scripts you don't remember agreeing to. And those scripts start narrating your life with the confidence of truth. One script says, hold good things loosely. Another says, expect people to leave and you'll never be surprised. Another says, don't need anyone too much, because need makes you vulnerable. These aren't philosophies you choose. They are survival strategies your body adopts. They can look like wisdom from the outside. On the inside, they are how you keep the pain from repeating at full volume. The tragedy is that these strategies work. They keep you from being crushed again. They also keep you from being fully held. They protect you from heartbreak and quietly block you from intimacy. You can build a whole adulthood on top of those strategies and call it independence. And nobody will challenge you because it looks strong. Meanwhile, the child inside you keeps living half-tacked. People raised in almost don't walk confidently into love. We enter gently, cautiously, like someone testing the weight limit of a bridge. We don't expect grounded life. We expect cracks. Even when we don't want to feel that way. Even when we know it isn't healthy. Even when we trust God deeply. Trauma doesn't always care what you understand theologically. It lives in the nervous system, not the intellect. You don't reason it away. You feel it in your bones. That's why this subject can be uncomfortable inside faith circles. Christianity is famous for rushing towards resolution. We love verses about victory. We love testimonies with clean arcs. We love skipping to the part where God restores everything and the audience claps. Yet Scripture doesn't skip like we do. The Bible sits inside ache longer than we're comfortable with. It doesn't sanitize pain. It doesn't pretend anguish is just a lack of faith. It records it. It dignifies it. It shows that some seasons feel like endless waiting rooms and repeated disappointments. Micah spoke to people who knew that hallway. They weren't naive. They weren't spiritually lazy. They weren't casual about God. They were exhausted. They had been used, exploited, manipulated by leaders who should have protected them. They tested hope and watched it evaporate. They lived through cycles of almost restored, almost safe, almost delivered. Every time the future seemed to open, another collapse followed. Trust stretched thin, faith bruised, hearts weary. Micah looked into that kind of community and declared something startling. The one who breaks open the way will go before them. He didn't offer them a motivational poster. He offered them a person who moves first. A God who refuses to let the hallway of almost become their permanent address. He didn't describe God as a gentle encouragement. He didn't frame God as inspirational sentiment. He called him the Breaker. The title feels aggressive, and that's exactly why it matters. The picture is forceful in the best way. God as intervention. God as disruption. God as the one who refuses to let captivity become normal. This isn't the God who sits politely in your pain, nodding sympathetically while you adapt to chains. It's not the God who only hands you tissues and whispers, "Hold on." This is the God who pushes back what holds you. The breaker refuses to cooperate with the narrative that says your wounds get the final word. He doesn't treat bondage as your personality or trauma as your destiny. He confronts what tried to name you and insists on rewriting what it means. That matters for those of us raised and almost loved, because we learn to make peace with cages. We decorate them. We rationalize them. We normalize them. This is just how I am. This is just what life gave me. This is my story. We stop calling it captivity and start calling it character. We stop calling it protection and start calling it preference. Then Scripture interrupts our coping and introduces a God who won't sign the paperwork declaring our damage permanent. Thanks for spending these minutes with me. Breaking a cycle rarely happens in one dramatic moment. It happens in small, steady breakthroughs, one step at a time. If something in today's reading stayed with you, leave a comment and tell me what landed. And if you want to keep walking with me, subscribe so you don't lose the thread. I'll see you in the next episode.